The spirit of innovation is deeply ingrained in America, and Google is helping Americans innovate in ways both big and small. The Department of Defense is working with Google to help secure America's digital defense systems, from establishing cloud-based zero-trust solutions to deploying the latest AI technology. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at g.co/American innovation.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Mike Lee Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame, I'll get drive-through. And Carta.
Okay, do I have to wait for you to go get it?
No, it's fine. We can record in the car. It's good.
Okay, yeah, today is a new day. In honor of Val Kilmer recently passing away, in his memory, we've decided to cover part of our Crisis on Infinite Films series. One of his I think not only, he did appear as Blunt Man in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. His outing as a superhero as Batman in Batman Forever. It is a 1995 film. It was directed by Joel Schumacher, who went on to direct Batman and Robin, which we've already covered on the show. So check out that episode if you haven't already, after you listen to this. He took over. This is the first movie in the series that he directed, in the, Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher series of films, Batman films, that is. In this movie, Val Kilmer takes over as Batman as well. This was written by Lee Batchelor and Janet Scott Batchelor, a husband and wife writing duo. They went on to write, actually before this, they wrote for like some TV shows and stuff, and then they went on to write it's like Pompeii in 2014. And let's see what else. That's what Lee Batchelor's written. And same thing, I guess. Yeah. Before that, they did some like small stuff, nothing major. So this is probably their biggest thing. Then we have the movie, as I said. I mean, and it's based on the comics, the comic book characters created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger, who didn't get credit on this, but that's another story for another day, where Bill Finger got fucked over for co-creating Batman for years, because Bob Kane is an asshole. He's dead, so I can say that about him. He appears in this movie too. Bob Kane does, in a cameo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember when, but he is in the movie at some point. The movie stars, as I said, Val Kilmer as Batman / Bruce Wayne. We have Tommy Lee Jones as Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face. We've got Jim Carrey as Edward Nygma, aka the Riddler. We've got Nicole Kidman as Dr. Chase Meridian. Chris O'Donnell as Dick Grayson, aka Robin. We've got Michael Gough reprising his role of Alfred Pennyworth. Pat Hingle reprising his role of Commissioner Gordon. We've got the addition of Drew Barrymore as Sugar and Debbie Mazar as Spice, among other people, including Renee Auberjonois as Dr. Burton at the end of the movie. Small role as an assistant by Jon Favreau, the Iron Man director, and Happy Hogan in those series, and also was in Daredevil with Ben Affleck, which we covered recently for this podcast. So check out that episode if you haven't already. Yeah, among, a cast of thousands, maybe not thousands, but
dozens,
the cast of dozens. Yeah.
Yep.
So according to the Internet Movie Database, the log line for this movie is Batman must battle former district attorney Harvey Dent, who is now Two-Face, and Edward Nygma, the Riddler, with help from the amorous psychologist and of an amorous psychologist and a young circus acrobat who becomes his sidekick Robin. Yeah, we mentioned too that Tommy Lee Jones took over the role of Harvey Dent from Billy D. Williams in the first Batman movie, because when you think Billy D. Williams, you think that somebody that looks and acts just like him. It's Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. There's one major difference. Tommy Lee Jones is white.
Yep.
And also another thing too is that prior to this, in Batman Returns, there was a whole storyline with Robin being introduced in that movie, and he was supposed to be played by Marlon Wayans.
Okay, well that would have been interesting.
Yeah, he was already cast and everything, but then they cut the character from the movie. So basically, in this movie, there was 2 black actors replaced with white actors. So, yeah. So, initial thoughts here on this movie.
So I really liked it, but it was just different than what I remember it. Like, I remember seeing it in the theaters when it came out. It was 1995. I remember it being silly, but not to the degree that it is now watching it as an adult. Like, because now I'm like, almost the entire movie is just like campy, like just completely full of bright colors.
Yeah.
But I liked it though, because it was it was like, the first 2 Batman movies. By the way, these 4 movies are supposed to be part of like the same continuity, right? Like they're not separate.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what kind of makes it a little bit confusing, is because you have 3 people playing Batman.
Yeah.
The first 2 movies in a completely different kind of style than the second 2 movies. So they have a completely different feel, but they are technically part of the same story, right? So what I liked about this one though was it had like, again, like it was campy, it was like full of bright, like the opposite. Tim Burton loves like everything being dark and gloomy and gray. That's like,
but he's still
Joe Schumacher. Like,
but
what's that?
Tim Burton still does over the top, but in a different way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
over the top and dark. Yeah, and I mean, but he's also directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Beetlejuice and stuff like that. That's kind of campy as well. So yeah.
It is, yeah. It's the same kind of thing. Yeah, you're right. But like Joel Schumacher is like, oh no, what? I'm just gonna make everything full of like the bright colors, like neon lights everywhere. But it's cool though. I liked it, and I liked because the contrast was Val Kilmer. He played Batman. I would say almost a little bit similar to like the Christopher Nolan ones, like the sort of tortured Bruce Wayne. Whereas Michael Keaton was kind of like sarcastic, it kind of had that sort of like charm to him, like a sort of like humorous charm. Whereas Val Kilmer's Batman, he's very brooding, he's very dark, doesn't really express emotions a lot, which some people might say, well, he was just kind of not really acting. I'm like, well, no, he's talking like a traumatized person talks. Like they're very flat, they're very emotionless because they're afraid, if they do open up, they're not going to be able to control themselves. So they kind of just maintain sort of like very stoic kind of flat effect when they talk. And so I thought it was interesting to have those 2 things going on separate, where you've got like like Two-Face. Like if you're expecting Two-Face to act like the Dark Knight Rises, you're in for a bad spot, because it's a completely different type of character.
Do you mean the Batman? Because he's he's in Dark Knight Rises as well. I forgot about that. I totally forgot Aaron Eckhart's version of Two-Face. I was thinking of of the latest one. He's
a major character. I mean, he is, but like he's only Two-Face for like the first 20 minutes of the movie or something like that. Like so. Which that was kind of my gripe with that movie a little bit too. It's like, well, you introduce another villain, but like he's only in for like a very short time in the film.
Rachel.
Harvey, plus Two-Face.
Harvey, it's okay. It's okay, Harvey. It's okay, Harvey. Harvey, it's okay. That's my
It's like
impersonation of that scene. Anyway, so
anyway, yeah. So like, I liked it. I mean, I thought it's very silly. It's very campy.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of seriousness to it, except for, of course, Val Kilmer's portrayal of, of a tormented slave.
It does. I mean, it is the first one to kind of really delve into his the darkness of his past. I mean, it does a little bit in the other ones, but it's funny that this one delves more into his trauma than the Tim Burton ones. It's really interesting. I mean, and his like reasoning for becoming Batman and his fears and everything, which were developed more in the Nolan movies. And then I liked the movie. I've watched it probably once a year on and off since it originally came out, because I'm weird like that. And I love Batman, so it's just me. The only one I'll really ever skip is Batman and Robin. I mean, I will watch it sometimes, but that one's the one I can't really. I mean, you talk about campy. I mean, listen to our review of that. That movie is like if this one is like Sweet and Low, that one's like, pure on corn syrup all over your body or something, it's like,
it lacks the colorfulness and everything else that's good about this movie. It lacks. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, it has that. I mean, it's way too sweet though. The movie was originally supposed to be about a half hour longer and a lot darker. So this movie, because there is a director's cut, like a rough cut of the director's cut that was put together prior to Joel Schumacher's death, and like Kevin Smith and some other people have seen the cut and they think it should be released. So that would be kind of I mean, I've seen some outtakes from it. It's like there's weird like dream sequences with him dealing with the whole bat type thing in his dreams and all this other stuff. But yeah, there's a lot going on with this movie behind the scenes that contributed to a lot of things. And I mean, Schumacher originally wanted to do Batman Year One and make a prequel to the Batman series, but Warner Brothers insisted on the sequel and wanted it to be more kid friendly because Batman Returns wasn't that kid friendly. They lost their deal with McDonald's because of it, because they didn't want to put out Happy Meals for Batman Returns, and I think it ended up going to like Taco Bell or something because of the deal with it being too dark. And but they got McDonald's back for this one, because I still have my Riddler glass that you could buy at McDonald's. It's a little
cool.
It's really cool looking glass. I wish I had the rest of them, but I got a Riddler one. So yeah, he was my favorite when I saw it. When I originally saw it. I mean, honestly, Jim Carrey is brilliant in this movie. I'll tell you that. I mean, I think his acting this is one of his best acting performances. It's really weird. I mean, it's strange, at least from his earlier days. I like it better than Dumb and Dumber, and his performance better than Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura. Yeah, so as I was saying, I think that this is one of Jim Carrey's better performances of that era, at least. Yeah. So let's get into this. What goes down in Gotham Town here?
In Gotham Town.
Yes.
Well, Two-Face is like on a spree. He's like Robin, not Robin as in like the character. He's like robbing. It's like robbing everywhere. It seems like he's got this like gang of weird people. Always got these weird cars with like machine guns hooked up to them. Yeah, they're like always stealing like fancy watches and jewelry and wallets. And I don't really know exactly what the purpose for this is, or it's just because he's crazy, or at least half of them. Yeah, like I don't really know exactly what his plan is. My one criticism of this is that they make him like too much like Joker, even though that's not his character.
I mean, basically, like almost all of these characters are like Joker. I mean, even the Riddler. So it's like
that was probably my one. Now that I'm older and I could sort of see with fresh eyes, that was kind of my gripe. It's like, well, why don't you let these people be like their own character? Like, if I have Joker in every movie, just have Joker in every movie. Like,
from behind the scenes is Tommy Lee Jones hated Jim Carrey. And they did not get along at all making this movie. And he kept telling him there was where was this? That he kept calling him like immature and over the top, and he didn't like his performances and everything. And I'm like thinking the whole time, though, you're pretty over the top in this movie too. Yeah. Yeah. He says. Yeah. Schumacher also mentioned Tommy Lee Jones was a source of trouble. Jim Carrey was a gentleman, and Tommy Lee was threatened by him. Yeah. Like I guess. Also, Val Kilmer was really rude to everybody on this movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace. But still, I guess he was going through some stuff too. He was going through a divorce and other things while he was filming this. So, and he spent, there was 2 weeks while they were filming that Val Kilmer did not talk to Joel Schumacher.
Oh wow. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened or everything, but Carrey said that he acknowledged that Jones was not friendly to him and recounted an incident where Jones told him, "I hate you. I really don't like you. I cannot sanction your buffoonery."
God, okay, Jesus Christ.
And I guess the same week that I think it was Ace Ventura came out or something, it was like the #1 movie in the country. The movie Cobb, about Ty Cobb, starring Tommy Lee Jones, came out, and Jim Carrey is convinced that he didn't like him because Cobb didn't do well at the box office the same week.
That's probably it. Yeah, that's probably
and
what
he was holding it against Carrey. So yeah,
I like actors such like
yeah,
you don't see this like with any other profession like that to that degree. It seems.
Well,
like
I mean, I guess you can to a point, though. I mean, I've worked with some real assholes, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, and some people that think they're better than everybody and stuff like that. Because I mean, you got a lot of. I mean, the thing with actors is you've got a lot of narcissism in there, and so people think that they're better than they are, and also diva type behavior and stuff from both men and women on sets, and it happens. I mean, I've even dealt with it on an indie level. I mean, I'm not going to name names or instances or anything, but I've dealt with actors who think that they're better than other people, and also other people in the film industry. So it just depends. But I mean, I've worked with people in retail who just think that they're the greatest too. So it doesn't matter. So.
All right. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, exactly. I did see Cobb, but I saw it around the same time as like 96. So I was still a kid. So I didn't like it, but then again, I was 12 years old when I watched it. So,
I think it's an interesting movie. It's not really a good movie. It's interesting though. So I've seen it a few times. I mean, it co-starred, Robert Wuhl, who was in the first Batman movie in 1989. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So like we open up this movie with Harvey Dent. He basically is like robbing this like bank or something.
Yeah.
And trying to basically decide if he wants to kill this guard or not, and then this he basically trying to use the guard as a lure, like a live, as he calls, live bait to get Batman. Yep. And trying to remember exactly what happened here. I just watched the movie and I can't remember the beginning.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it takes a while probably for the to like fully develop in your mind, like the scenery and stuff. He like pushes him down like this tube kind of thing, and it's like fills it up with acid or something like that. And so Batman has to go and basically save him, like pull him out or whatever. And then like there's like this car chase where where Two-Face has got like these old style cars, but like with machine guns hooked up to them, and they're trying to shoot the Batmobile. Which, by the way, this Batmobile is awesome. I love this. That's like one of my favorite, I think, so far.
Yeah,
it's so cool in this movie. Like just awesome. And
I like this one better. I mean, I do think this one's better in some ways than the Keaton one, and it's also it's definitely better than the Clooney one. So
it is. It's just so cool. It's like bright colors. Again, like this movie is so colorful. Like all around, like it's just like bright lights, like neon. Like at one point, people are wearing like face paint and body paint. Yeah. It's just like. So it's like no wonder why I liked it as a kid. It's so full of color, and it's probably because they were trying to consciously do the exact opposite of Batman Returns. It's like completely go into full color mode. But like, there's like these dumb little jokes that I thought were like the funniest thing when I saw it. Like I remember the crowd like bursting with laughter when Batman's getting suited up for the first time, and Alfred's like, "Perhaps you should have something to eat before you go," and he goes,
I'll get drive through.
And like everybody thought it was like the funniest, like everyone like cackling, like this is the funniest thing in the entire universe. And now I'm just like chuckle, like, okay, that was kind of cool. Like, just like, but like everyone just went like completely nuts. And then like later on, there's another scene that actually was kind of funny for like, he's like suiting up again, like for like a split second, they just show like his, like zooming on his butt for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying anything about this, like, but Joel Schumacher was a known gay man. And it makes me wonder if he was just like, yeah, because I mean, this is the first one to put nipples on the Batsuit too. So they're more, I didn't know, right? They're more prominent in the next movie, but there's like nipples on the Batsuit, and I'm just like, yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. It's a suit. You don't need nipples for a suit.
Exactly.
Whatever. And, you don't need to like shape the entire body for a suit. Okay.
The thinking behind it, from what I went on the audio commentaries and stuff, Joel Schumacher was talking about it and saying that he felt like it was kind of like the like a marble statue in like Roman times or something like that is what he was trying to convey. And I'm just like, okay,
I understand now. Yeah. And so yeah, he saves the guard dude from the acid bath. Which again, acid, that's like another Joker reference, kind of. It's like they're trying to like
Well, it's also a Two-Face thing too, because Two-Face's face was figured. Yeah.
That's right, yeah, of course. Yeah, because of his never mind. Duh.
Then we meet Edward Nygma, who's a researcher at Wayne Enterprises.
Get it? Ed Nygma. Get it? How clever that is?
Enigma. Yeah.
Get it? Yeah, because he's an Enigma, right?
Anyways, he's a researcher at Wayne Enterprises. So basically, he works for Bruce, and he's like basically obsessed with Bruce, like to a creepy level.
Yeah, you're my idol. Like, okay, calm down, dude. Like,
so he goes around, shows him stuff that he's developing at the place or whatever with his boss, who's played by Ed Begley Jr., who we keep running into in different movies. He approaches Bruce. He presents him an invention that can beam television signals directly into the brain. And he wants, Bruce to like love it. He's just like, and Bruce is like basically concerned that, it could be used to manipulate minds.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So he's like all
offended. Yeah.
He's all like pissed off. And so they basically kill the idea. But Eddie boy here isn't going to stop that. And he ends up killing his supervisor, played by Ed Begley Jr. After fucking with his brain and stuff, and makes it look like he committed suicide. So
how did he do that? Like, make the cameras look like? I never understood how he was able to do that.
What do you mean to make it look like?
Yeah, to make it look like he killed himself. Like, how did he change the camera to make it look like?
I don't know.
I don't
know. He's also able to create a device that can, put beam signals right into your brain too. So I don't know.
I mean, they never explained how he changed the camera footage. Like, oh, okay, like because like the window was already broken, and then like it just whatever. It's fine. It's a movie, but yeah,
maybe it's early deep faking.
Yeah, that's pretty good for 1995.
Early AI. I mean, in Batman's world, we don't know what year this is or when this is either, too. So who knows? Alternate universe that doesn't exist. So we also had earlier met Chase Meridian, who was who's a psychiatrist she's a criminal psychiatrist who's was hired to like help figure things out about Two-Face or something. They never even really explained much of that either. So,
not really.
She's like hired by Commissioner Gordon to appear in the movie.
Just like to show up a few times, make some weird comments, and then look hot, basically.
Yes. I mean,
no offense, Nicole Kidman, and she's a great actress. I'm just saying, like, that was kind of what it was like.
I mean, it is interesting that two people joined this movie for interesting reasons. Val Kilmer join the movie without ever reading the script and everything, because when he got the offer, he was in a bat cave at that moment.
Wow.
Doing research for another movie for Ghost in the
literally
Dark. Yeah, he was doing some research in a bat cave, and he says, "Yeah, I'll play Batman." And he didn't know who the director was or who wrote the script or anything. And Nicole Kidman chose to do the movie just because she wanted to be able to say that she kissed Batman.
Wow. No wonder why this movie is so freaking weird, man. Like,
yeah. Her part was originally written for Rene Russo when Michael Keaton was still going to be part of the movie. So, but they decided that Rene Russo was too old to be paired with Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, so she's she's there anyways. She basically after Bruce is like rejected Ed, we get Nygma like decides to like redesign and plots revenge against Bruce. Starts saying no. Yeah, for saying no. Yeah. Yeah. People do things like that, like presidents and stuff. Anyway, so
like just saying no is like seeing like a great betrayal. Like you don't even have to actually do anything wrong. You just have to say no, thanks. I don't want to do this, and like that's enough to like
yeah. Basically, Chase Meridian has decided that Nygma is a psychotic. So yeah, I do like when he first starts making riddles. They've got the soundtrack to this movie is interesting. I really like it. But there's Flaming Lips song that plays when he's starting to do things that I really like. Can't remember the name of the song, but it's a Flaming Lips song. Yeah, I used to listen to the soundtrack. I used to have the soundtrack on cassette when I was a kid for this movie. I was a teen or whatever. Yeah. So Bruce is going to attend this like circus that's coming to town, and he ends up inviting Chase Meridian to go to it. While there, of course, Two-Face hijacks the event.
Yeah, as he is wont to do.
Yeah, and threatens to detonate a bomb unless Batman reveals his identity. There's this group of acrobats named the Flying Graysons, which includes Dick Grayson, the youngest. Dick ends up manages to throw the bomb in the river, but in the process, Two-Face kills his family.
Yep.
And then, Bruce Wayne invites this now orphaned Dick to live at his mansion.
I know, it's such a weird...
That's always been a weird thing in my mind about the Batman.
Like, because he's played by Chris O'Donnell. I don't know how old he's supposed to be, but like, I mean, the character, but like Chris O'Donnell was clearly like an adult man. Like, you know what I mean? Like in his 20s at this point. Like,
I think he's like, I think he was supposed to be a teenager, but I don't know.
I mean, like, I don't know how old Chris. Like, you can look it up later. But I'm sure he's in his 20s. Like the actor Chris O'Donnell. I mean, he clearly looks like he's not a kid. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to
act like one either. He acts like he's like in his 20s. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And I wonder how old he was at the time. So this came out in 95. Chris O'Donnell was born in 1970.
All right, so
he would have been 25 when this came out.
Yeah. Playing like a 16, 17-year-old kid, which is fine. I mean, a lot of movies. I mean, that guy Napoleon Dynamite was like 30 and he was supposed to be in high school, with Napoleon, so it's like,
yeah. And
that was just to make it stupid. But like,
and Val Kilmer was 11 years older than him. So yeah.
So like an older brother. Well, maybe like a really older brother.
That's what they always were. It was like, older brother. They were like brothers always. So. Which is why, like, during the comics code and other things, and like the whole, everybody's got to be assholes and think there's like underlying meaning to things, and people were always saying back in the day on the comics that they wanted to ban Batman because they thought it was about a homosexual couple living together.
Oh, like, shut up. Like,
whatever. They literally thought that Robin and Batman had a relationship or something. Dick and Wayne, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They think more about this stuff than like other people do. Like they see it everywhere because it's constant in their minds. Like
So he takes him in as his ward. And then while he's there, eventually he, I'm kind of fast forwarding through things because this is a long movie. Longer than we normally do. He ends up discovering that Bruce is Batman by he has to be like, first he has to be like convinced to stay there. And slowly Alfred and Bruce work on him to get him to stay with the mansion, So, because, they're these two adults are entrapping this child into their. I'm joking.
Exactly. I mean, like, but in all seriousness, how do you have to convince someone to live in a mansion? Like, really?
I know.
Like, it's just like.
I mean, honestly, even if it was like Elon Musk and he says, "Hey, do you want to live in my mansion?" I'd be like, "Sure, whatever."
Yeah, because it's big enough where you could be separated. Like, I mean, what's he gonna do? Follow you around the house? I mean, maybe he would, but like,
yeah. Oh boy, he wouldn't have to. He would just have listening devices implanted in my head when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Elon Musk is like like a combination of Nygma and Bruce Wayne. It's just like,
a little bit. No, seriously, like, yeah.
Except for he's not,
and like,
except for he's not as smart as either one.
No, that's the problem. Exactly, he's not.
And that's the other thing that bothers me. We have all these billionaires on Earth. Why are none of them Batman?
Exactly, we don't have a single Batman. Or maybe we do, but we don't know that.
I mean, they could all be Batman or Iron Man or something. They could be out there solving crimes and being vigilantes or whatever. It's like come on, you can at least be an Oliver Queen. Come on,
Definitely some Arrow shit. Yeah, come on, like whatever. But yeah, he finds the cave, right? Because he did like his acrobatic shit to get in. The secret door or whatever. Alfred,
the slowest closing door in the history of cinema.
I go. This thing took like 10 minutes to close. No, but like seriously.
Yeah, so he finds the Bat Cave, and basically Alfred is kind of like watching him. There's another scene when the weirdest like clothes washing scene in the history of cinema as well. Where Dick is like washing his clothes and wringing them out with his feet and stuff, and doing like all these like martial arts moves to like wring out his clothes, and I'm just like, okay, whatever.
They really need to show how good he is at doing laundry. So.
he's
like, yeah.
That was his rejected superhero name. It was going to be Laundry Boy, and
Laundry Boy.
It's Batman.
He's really good at
Batman and Laundry Boy.
Yeah, Batman and Laundry Boy.
Yeah,
exactly.
He was going to get a sponsorship, and it was going to be like Batman and Laundry Boy presented by Tide.
Yeah. But he steals the car. But how does he? Because Alfred's there, and he caught him. So did he like punch Alfred and steal the cars? How did he manage to do that?
I don't know. They don't show it really. So
like Alfred let him take it basically because he's trying to get him to like stay. So he's like, "Oh, go ahead, take the car."
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't make any sense to me because I'm like, Alfred clearly caught him, and he looks like ashamed of himself. Like, "Oh, hi, sorry."
He takes the car and he goes off, joyriding. And he runs into like this gang of people wearing, makeup that shows up in blacklight, and
yeah, I don't know why, but it's stupid, but it looks cool. So
I mean, I know, like when you're going to like downtown New York or Detroit or something, that's exactly how the gangs look.
Well, yeah, because when you're a gang, I mean, it's obvious when you're a gang who's trying to commit crimes. You want to make sure that everyone can see you, right? I mean, isn't that the point? Like, what? Like,
you don't want to blend in at all.
Oh, you want to have a face paint that glows in the dark, and come on, and have like bats that look like those stupid glow in the dark, sticks that you do at rave parties, but they're like really long sticks. Like you want to make sure you're as colorful and noticeable as possible.
Yes.
When you're like stealing people, kidnapping people, and hitting them, you want to make sure everyone sees.
Yes,
they can identify you because of your very distinct clothing choices. Like
whenever I go anywhere, I have this like this like sign above my head that says what I'm doing. Like if I'm robbing somebody, it says, "Hi, I'm robbing you." This big like bright neon sign above my head.
I mean, you know what's up then. Like you know how to do it. like next time you rob a bank, the next time you never have robbed a bank, allegedly.
As far as
next time
knows.
you rob a bank, make sure you wear neon paint all over your body and your clothes. Have the sign that you just mentioned, says, "Hello, I'm robbing the bank." But you know what? Then don't rob the bank. Just walk away right after you come in. Really.
You also have to have like one of those "Hello, my name is" tags on, so that's very prominent, so everybody knows who you are.
Yes,
and then you randomly drop copies of your driver's license everywhere too.
like in that movie, he collects it so that Dan Aykroyd's character could pick him up and then know where you live, and then from nothing but trouble. What I love about this though is like how immediately they knew he wasn't Batman just because of how he was acting. So like, you're not Batman.
Batman has better sense.
They just knew the second they saw him, like, who the fuck are you?
So there's this whole like little love story going on with Chase and Bruce as well, like and that's when he finds out that the car was taken, so he's got to leave. And then he comes in as Batman and saves the day. There's also like, okay, so Dick basically rescues this girl at one point, but then it stops and everything. A girl played by Rebecca Budig, who's a soap actress who I used to have a crush on. Anyways, so she was on All My Children, General Hospital, and I think Young and the Restless and other things. So so she Bruce comes and saves the day, gets Dick out of trouble, and that probably didn't help things too in the whole gay theory when you name one of the guys Dick. I'm sorry, just
true.
I'm just saying.
But back then, I don't think that was playing for.
I've never understood anybody that chooses the nickname Dick when their name's Richard, when you could go with Rick or Rich.
Yeah.
And I used to have an uncle named Dick. So, and I say that clearly. I used to have an uncle named Dick. He's still alive, but I used to have an uncle named Dick. Who lives up?
That's a weird thing. Because how does that become a nickname when it's like Rick, D, like Matthew, Matt? Like it's still this, like it's not like my nickname's not Dance from Matthew. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
it's the same thing with like I think it has to do with like some weird. I've read something about the etymology of these things, but it's also like Bob for Robert.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like Peg is short for Margaret.
Is it? I thought it was for Peggy. No.
Peggy or Peg is short for Margaret.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, right. Don't know how. But
okay.
So anywho.
Sorry, we went up.
Join us next time for All2 etymology. And throughout this thing, Dick like demands that he joins as a partner fighting crime, but Bruce doesn't want that. He's like, you've got the choice to do something different, and he doesn't want him to, he sees the anger and the fact that Dick wants to kill Harvey Dent, so it's just like, for killing his family.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So in this process, the Riddler Ed Nygma becomes the Riddler because he comes up with some different names at first, and then he chooses the Riddler, which made sense. One of the names that he thought about was the Puzzler, which is an actual villain in DC Comics. So,
really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, the Puzzler is more known in the comics as a Superman villain, but he's very similar.
Oh, okay.
Similar to the Riddler. There was a time on the Batman 66 TV series with Adam West where they couldn't get, I think, Frank Gorshin to play the Riddler in an episode, so they just rewrote it with the Puzzler.
Oh, wow.
So, and then there was other times where they couldn't get Frank Gorshin, and then he was played by John Astin just randomly. Like, he was just a different actor. We've got the he becomes the Riddler. He ends up deciding to team up with Two-Face. So they just go off and commit a series of robberies to finance this new company that Nygma wants to create. So
he wants to do this insanely experimental, way ahead of its time. I mean, we're probably going to be going into that eventually at some point, unfortunately. Like, I mean, maybe not a weird way of like the green light or anything like that, but like, I mean, Elon Musk was already, trying to put bolts through people's heads. So like,
I mean, his device, dubbed the brainwave device, dubbed the box, is basically like Neuralink in a way. So yeah.
It's very similar, which is like scary. This was 30 years ago when this came out, and he and Two-Face are just kind of like my only issue. So like with Two-Face or Harvey Dent, so like the whole point of Two-Face, right, is that it's like opposite sides of his personality, right? Like you got like, because like Sugar and Spice are like his sort of like his companions, kind of like the angel and the devil on each side of your head type of situation. So Sugar is like very refined, like she prepares like this really nice like fancy dinner for her. Whereas like Spice is like, here's like a slab of beef with like full of hot sauce or whatever. I don't think she said hot sauce, but
No.
Okay, but when Two-Face he's always acts like the crazy side. Like there's no serious side to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like, what's the point of being Two-Face if other than just the literal aspect that he has one side of his face all burnt and the other one looks normal? Like,
it's like in like the animated series, which I think is the best portrayal of Two-Face. He's kind of has a dual personality in a way, and I think it's better when it's played that way. I mean, we probably would have got more of that with in the Dark. It was the Dark Knight, not the Dark Knight Rises, that Two-Face appeared in that series. In the Dark Knight, if he would have appeared in the Dark Knight Rises, I think we would have got more of. If they would have allowed Aaron Eckhart to continue with the role, I think we would have gotten more of that dual personality thing. I think that would have been a really cool way to look at it. Hopefully someday we'll get like a really good live action portrayal of Two-Face, Yeah,
totally. Yes, right. You for correcting me. I kept saying Dark Knight Rises, not the
I went along with it too and didn't catch it until right now. I just thought of it and I was like, he was in the same movie with Heath Ledger. So so we've got anyways, we've got the two of them going off and committing all these crimes to basically fund his new company, like Nygma Tech or whatever it was called.
I think so.
So Nygma keeps like basically he's using the device to increase his own intelligence, but as it's doing this, he's slowly like going crazy and losing grip on reality, I guess.
Yeah, it's too much information. It's like.
That's what's going to happen to all of us with Neuralink when they force us all to get it injected. And
exactly when it's mandatory. Yeah.
Yep. And it's going to be supported by the same people that didn't like the vaccine.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. The 5G vaccine that's like you got little tiny demons inside the liquid that goes into your body. Can't have that. That's too invasive of your body. But here's the big bulk of your skull. So.
That killed monkeys. But anyway, so we'll anyways, there's this like big party that Nygma's new company is like mass producing his device, and he's showing people like what it does and how it you can like basically have this like hologram in your brain, like, oh, I'm on a Hawaiian island or something, So, but at this party, he Bruce ends up getting tricked into going into this booth where this is going on, where he ends up getting his brain read by the machine, and
stupid thing to do too.
And Two-Face comes in and. He breaks up the party like in a stupid way because he's just all anger. And, anyways, so I don't know. At one point, during the party, Chase Meridian tells, Batman, who came in to save the day, she went to the party with Bruce, but, Bruce disappears and Batman appears. And,
right, of course.
Nobody puts two and two together.
Exactly. No one ever does. It's like, oh, wow.
It's like I've always liked that scene in the Superman movie where Bruce and Superman are like on a double date, like with this woman, with these two, with Lois and another woman, and I think that's how it is. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but he keeps leaving and then coming back dressed as Clark and coming back as Superman and stuff. Anyways, Batman or Chase tells Batman to meet her at this at her balcony at this certain point or whatever, the midnight or whatever. And so he shows up and she realizes that after she kisses him, she's like, I don't love you, I love someone else. And it's Bruce, because Batman realizes it, and then he gives the funniest little smile.
I know, it's so creepy, but it's funny at the same time.
Yeah.
He's like,
I tricked psychiatrists into loving me.
Who's the manipulator now?
It's me.
It's me. Oh God!
The real villain of this movie is Batman.
I manipulated her. Yeah.
Eventually he ends up revealing in a date on Halloween night. He reveals to Chase that he's Batman. So, that'd be kind of conflicting. It's like, I really like this Bruce guy, but I don't really like Batman anymore. But wait,
but now you're the same guy. Shit. That means it's like I do, like, it's
like we're starting off this relationship on a lie. Like, what's going on? Oh,
it's a very complicated start to a very unhealthy, dysfunctional relationship.
And obviously it worked out well, because we see her again in the next movie. Oh wait, we don't.
Exactly. We don't see her at all. We see instead we see Alyssa Silverstone in the next movie.
Alicia Silverstone is, but she's not the love interest. She's
no, she's not. I'm just saying. She's Robin's love interest.
Yeah. So we don't know what happened. So that night, though, that Halloween night, the Riddler and Two-Face had read Bruce's brain and and realized that he is Batman. So they break into Wayne Manor and come in and beat up Alfred, and then beat up Bruce and take Chase. Not like the phrase where people say they took Chase, like where they went running.
No, not that.
No, they actually literally took Chase. So
they did run, though. They were running.
Yeah. They took Chase and took Chase.
Yes, exactly.
So yes.
Yeah. This double. Yeah.
Yes. And then they destroy the Batcave and like the Batmobile and stuff. And so Bruce recovers the next day, and he decides he needs to go fight them off and get Chase back. And Robin shows up, or Dick shows up, and says, I'll be your partner and best friend and partner. Let's go, let's go trade baseball cards and share bubblegum and stuff, Anyway, so
yeah.
I don't know what best friends do. So let's go start a podcast. That's what they decided right after that.
Yeah. And for 7 years, seriously, we're probably one of the longest running podcasts in the world right now. Like, I'm being serious. Like, that one guy we interviewed, or who interviewed us from Waco, Texas, said something like 95% of the podcasts went after 7 episodes or something like that. So we're so we're in the top 5%. We're probably in the top 3% of that 5% or something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're nowhere near Joe Rogan or Mark Maron.
No, not. But
but yeah,
we're better than Joe Rogan's podcast, though.
Well, yeah, because we only give you the best advice, even though we talked about bad advice in an episode and got our episode on YouTube for some reason.
Exactly.
So anywho, they go to the Riddler's new lair on an island, and they're there, and Robin defeats Two-Face, but chooses to spare him because he realizes, I gotta do the right thing, like Spike Lee would say. And and they
the other day, actually, on a movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. But Two-Face captures him at gunpoint. Then the Riddler reveals his final riddle, and it's dealing with Chase and Robin are both in these in these tubes above this water where they're going to fall into it and die. but he basically reveals that there's two sides to Batman's personality are trapped in the tubes above his, he can only save one. He can only save his, love or his, his humanity or his partner. But right. he ends up deceiving them, throws a batarang up at the mind enabling, the box thing or whatever. And he fucks that up and then fucks up the Riddler's brain. He ends up rescuing both of them as they fall to the floor. And I guess the floor is like an optical illusion or something. I was just like,
I didn't understand that. Yeah,
I didn't either. I was confused. But then Two-Face, corners them and flips his coin to decide their fate. But Batman throws a bunch of identical coins in the air.
So brilliant strategy.
Yeah. And then Two-Face falls to his death. So.
Can you imagine doing that if like someone's like about to kill you and they're like, let me flip a coin, you throw a bunch of coins, they're like, no, instead of just shooting you, they're like trying to find the coin. You tricked me.
Because I realized that was his Achilles heel, basically. So
true, yeah, true.
Yeah, and so they then good old Eddie is committed to Arkham Asylum, which is shown for the first time in live action in this movie.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And then Chase is brought to the asylum because supposedly Ed is going to reveal who Batman really is, and he comes out and says, "I'm Batman,"
right?
Because his brain is so fried. Yeah. And then we end the movie with a silhouette of Batman and Robin going off to fight crime.
Yeah, and then we get some cool music, and then they go into Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about that is how much of a hit that song was, and like they even made like the music video of like Batman's theme, and like the song literally only played for like 20 seconds in the movie. Like one. They acted like it was like such a pivotal part of the movie.
Yeah, I mean that Flaming Lips song was in there more.
It was. No, yeah.
I wish I could remember the name of that Flaming Lips song.
Yeah, me too. I can't think of it right now.
Yeah. But yeah. Any other thoughts here on this movie?
No, not really.
Yeah. That song was called. I just got to look that up now before you get too far. Bad Days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So look up that song. It's a good song, people. Bad Days by Flaming Lips. And the Flaming Lips are a good band regardless of anything. They're very unique and I like them.
What about any trivia? I guess you already said some trivia.
Yeah, I said some. Let's get some more here.
All right.
So like I said, Jim Carrey did not get along with Tommy Lee Jones at all and mentioned that. Jim Carrey originally wanted to shave a question mark into his scalp. But he couldn't do that because he was in the middle of he was due in court to finalize his divorce. So, Keaton turned it down because he didn't like the direction that the series was going in with this. Leonardo DiCaprio turned down the role of Robin because he didn't like Joel Schumacher's direction of the movies either. Looking for something here. Steve Martin was the second choice to play the Riddler.
Wow.
The first choice was Robin Williams.
Oh my God.
Both Steve Martin was offered the role, but he turned it down because his good friend John Candy had just died and he was getting a divorce at the time too. And he was like, he was too sad to do any movies, he said. So, I'll cut out all this dead air.
That's fine.
I'm saying that on here and I might not even cut this out. So, hey folks. Okay. William Baldwin, Alec Baldwin, Sir Daniel Day-Lewis, Kurt Russell, Ethan Hawke, Ralph Fiennes, Tom Hanks, and Johnny Depp were all considered to play Batman in this movie.
Okay. I could see Ethan Hawke, Daniel Day-Lewis, probably because he could play pretty much any role. So
yeah.
He could pretty much. He played like every type of character through his like.
Yeah. And then William Baldwin is again considered for the role in Batman and Robin when they needed to recast after this movie. That eventually went to George Clooney. At one point, Joel Schumacher had asked Bono of U2 to reprise his role of Mephisto that he played during the band's Zoo TV tour in this movie. But Bono declined, saying that when Zoo TV ended, so did that character.
My God.
Instead, he contributed the song Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me to the soundtrack.
This movie is so bizarre. You behind the scenes, even like
yeah. Oh, it's
surprising. Got like
during the filming, Val Kilmer would experience bat suit woes from day one. He couldn't hear what anyone was saying due to the rubber cowl covering his ears, and the suit, which weighed over 100 pounds, dramatically restricted his movement. In the documentary Val, the actor noted, whatever boyish excitement I had going in was crushed by the reality of the bat suit. Being isolated in that way, no doubt contributed to the actor's reputation as being difficult to work with. But he was at least gracious enough to stick around during filming one day to greet billionaire Warren Buffett, who brought his grandkids to set.
wow.
According to a New York Times profile, Kilmer was about to take off the bat suit, but when Buffett and the kids arrived, he kindly stuck around to greet them, but quickly learned the kids were more interested in the Batmobile and trying the cowl on for themselves. That prompted a sudden realization in the actor, there is no Batman, just people projecting themselves into his image. As he told the Times, that's why it's so easy to have 5 or 6 Batmans. It's not about Batman. There is no Batman.
Wow. That's so bleak.
Before Chris O'Donnell was ultimately cast, Mark Wahlberg, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jude Law, Ewan McGregor, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Toby Stevens, Scott Speedman, Alan Cumming were all considered for the role of Robin. There was a rumor that Christian Bale was considered, but Christian Bale said, I never auditioned for that movie. I would never play Robin.
Wow.
So, Joel Schumacher disliked the idea of Billy D. Williams, of having Billy D. Williams play Two-Face so much, he decided to pay his acting fee in full as required by his pay-or-play contract for any possible sequel featuring the character Two-Face. Like Val Kilmer's Batman should be considered the same character that appeared in Batman despite the recast. So it's supposed to be the same character. Somehow he I don't know, I guess he had a really large case of vitiligo and his skin turned white, I guess. I don't know what. Sandra Bullock and Cindy Crawford were both considered for Chase Meridian. Jenny McCarthy Wahlberg turned down the role of Sugar that Drew Barrymore ended up playing. Because she was probably off spreading bad information about vaccines giving kids autism or something. So
she had to take a break, to do that.
Yeah. Oh boy. That's probably good on there's tons of trivia about this. I recommend there's like documentaries about the making of this movie and everything. There's so much into the making of this movie alone, let alone the whole Batman series. Here's another one. Matt Damon auditioned for the role of Robin. His best friend Ben Affleck reputedly auditioned for the same role when it was still part of Batman 1989 script. I mean, he would later play Batman 21 years later in Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. So Anyways, any other final thoughts here on this before we wrap things up?
No, not really.
Yep. Okay, so I don't have anything else to really say besides go to all2reeltoo.com and check out our website. You can find links to the show. You can find links to our social media. You can also find links to our TeePublic and our Patreon. Good ways to support the show. We got a lot of little tiers there on the Patreon. Please join Patreon. You can join for as little as $1 a month, help out the show, help keep us on the air, so we can give you 7 more years of our great insight into the world of pop culture, because we have the best insight. Mm-hmm. Even when our eyes are closed, we have the best insight.
Yeah.
I don't know what that meant.
Our sight is going inward because our eyes are closed. So
yes, I record every episode with my eyes closed. I'm lying. Anyways, I wouldn't be able to read things like the trivia when I.
Yeah, wait a minute. I was like, wait, you got Braille? Like, what the fuck?
I have a Braille computer. The screen just shows Braille. I don't know. Anyways, so there is that movie. What's that movie where Val Kilmer plays a blind guy? At First Sight. That's it.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, he plays a blind guy in that. It's a good movie. I really liked that movie. Came out in 1999. Anywho, check that out too. Check out everything.
Everything.
Watch every movie and TV show ever made. Listen to every song ever made. Go to every museum in the world. Watch every baseball game ever.
Well, that's a lot. If you
probably
wanted to check Val Kilmer more, he was in Top Gun. He's known for that. But there's a movie I like a lot from the 80s called Real Genius. I think it's hilarious.
That one's a classic.
But yeah, that's another one you might want to check out.
Also check out Top Secret. That's a 1984 movie. That's pretty good.
Okay.
There's Willow.
Oh yeah.
The Doors.
Right. Yeah, that's right. The Doors, of course.
Yes. Heat, which he shot at the same time as this movie. He was shooting both of the movies at the same time. There's always the movie that I want to cover for a future episode that is a really messed up movie that has an interesting story behind itself and behind the scenes. The Island of Dr. Moreau.
That's right.
Yeah.
What in I don't know if this is the same. It might not be the same actor at all. The one where he played like a porn star.
He played John Holmes in a movie. Yeah.
John Holmes. Right. Yeah. He was in there. Really
Wonderland. Yeah.
That's really messed up movie. Good, but it's really disturbing.
Yeah, he's in a lot of movies. Sadly, he's no longer with us. He had some health issues towards the end of his life. Of course, there's Tombstone from back in the day too.
That's right. A lot. It's weird, man. He kind of like fell off. Like people like it's just sad almost because like he was in like so many good movies, and it's like I don't know. It just seems like people like just like forgot about that fact or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he had the health issues. He was he had lost his voice towards the end. He had noticed a lump on his throat, but did not seek medical care until he started vomiting blood. Ugh. In 2015, he was hospitalized for what his representatives say were tests for a possible tumor. Anyways, but I guess he didn't have a tumor or something. But I guess he was a Christian scientist or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't believe in doctors as much, but he ultimately underwent chemotherapy and 2 tracheotomies. I guess his he died of pneumonia at 65 on April 1st of 2025. So yeah,
like a really bad April Fool's joke. Like pneumonia. So it wasn't even, he didn't even die from like what he actually had. Like it was, he obviously had pneumonia, but like was, the main thing, like and there he goes to show again. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but just goes to show the power of destructive beliefs right there. Mm-hmm. Don't trust science, trust God. Even though you could make the argument that God is who inspired scientists to come up with the very idea. Anyway, no matter.
Just like anytime there's a school shooting, it's always thoughts and prayers, longer, action or anything.
Yep.
But anyways, I digress. Folks, thanks for listening. Hope we didn't get you too down here at the end. Yeah. Boy. So, folks, look down the bright side of life. Tell people you love them before they're gone. All that good stuff. Be good to each other. Be different. Be yourself. Trans lives are human lives. Free Palestine. Free Ukraine. Free any country under the colonialization strain. And just remember that I love you. Sesame loves you. Yep. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Haas. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.